What's up, guys? Welcome to G Whiskey. My name is Jeff. Now, this is a channel where I offer my thoughts and opinions on a specific whiskey, and if you stick around to the end, I'll be giving it a score as well. If that sounds interesting, hit subscribe down below. And with that out of the way, why don't we jump into our review? Today, we're looking at the Dalmore Cigar Malt. Stick around. So we're looking at Dalmore today. Dalmore is a super famous brand, and for better or for worse, they have a look, they have an image, and they have a tendency to produce whiskeys that are not made the way us whiskey nerds would like them to be made, but I'm sure a lot of you already know this. But since you clicked on this video, I'm going to assume that you're at least a little bit curious about this one. This one is the Cigar Malt. It's one of their somewhat more premium expressions. Dalmore, as always, gets really mixed reviews, but this one is one of their better received ones. Now, I'll admit that I haven't traditionally been the biggest Dalmore fanboy. I don't love the regular 12-year-old or the regular 15-year-old. I haven't tried the 18-year-old, but they put out something last year or 2 years back, I'm not sure, called the 12-year-old Sherry Cask Select. Very different from the regular 12 and genuinely good. And that bottle has been a staple in my cabinet ever since then. I believe I'm on my third bottle now. This stuff showed me what Dalmore is capable of. Now, it's not naturally presented at all, but it's a delicious 12-year-old and a really richly flavored sherried whiskey. And I don't know, I just love that one. It kind of inspired me to explore a little bit more from Dalmore, which brings us to our Cigar Malt here. This one originally released back in 2009. I guess it was quite popular, but somehow got discontinued anyway. Eventually, they did re-release it under the name Cigar Malt Reserve. Obviously, this one is meant to be experienced or tasted with a cigar. Our newer version of this stuff comes in with a higher ABV and apparently is composed of older whiskeys than the original. It's been matured in bourbon casks, Methusalem, I'm not sure how to say that, Methusalem sherry casks, and we have some Cabernet Sauvignon casks in there too. So kind of an eclectic group of barrels there, but of course Dalmore, known for their cask play. Yeah, I don't know, this one sounded interesting. And I'll admit, I was initially hesitant to pick up this bottle, but that 12-year-old Sherry Cask Select left such a good taste in my mouth, both literally and figuratively, that I figured, just try my hand at another bottle, see if I can finally come around to Dalmore, the pariah of single malt purists. So let's see if it worked out. Why don't we hop into our review, see what our whiskey is all about, and in the meantime, if you could kindly leave a like down below, that'd be greatly appreciated. So we are looking at Dalmore here, so no real surprises. Boom. It's non-age stated, it's chill filtered, it's colored. We do have a 44% ABV, which is not great, but, good for them. Not good for them, I mean good for them. Alright, so we have a very colorful whiskey here. There's definitely an abundance of color in our whiskey. I mentioned in my last review, I'm a sucker for these Dalmore bottles. I think they look great. Gimmicky, sure. But I think they're eye-catching. I think they're great conversation starters. And yeah, what can I say? I like them. So presentation score, 4.5 out of 5. Beyond that, really not much to say here. We have the obligatory ABV on the front. On the back, mine does mention that it's got color added. That's in German. So I guess my bottle was intended for Europe. Nice box. We got tasting notes on that. Overall, great look, great presentation. Let's try our nose. Wow, okay. Deep, dark, rich, big sherry, big tobacco. There's some layers of kind of like dark treacle or dark caramel in this. I'm getting like Copico, which is those caramel milk chocolate coffee hard candies. Definitely some rum raisin, strawberry yogurt, dark berries. There's some milk chocolate, there's some cinnamon in here, and some oak. Now, this is surprisingly fresh and fruity underneath those heavy layers of sherry and caramel. I like it. Now our palate. Oily, pretty mouth coating. Not as sweet as I'd expect. More of that big sherry, more of that big tobacco, more strawberry yogurt. I'm getting cinnamon, figs, musty oak, some red chili in here, and some bitter cherries. And our finish. Okay, gets more musty, more bitter here. Roasted almonds, tobacco, more bitter cherries, molasses, black licorice, more red chili in this. We have some herbal or kind of vegetal notes in here, and we have mulled wine. Now you do get smoke in here, but it's not like peat smoke. It's more like cigar smoke that's been absorbed into a leather armchair in one of those old British gentlemen's clubs over a generation. How's that for fanciful? But it's still kind of a short finish. Alright, so this one's not what I thought it would be, and that's actually a good thing. Honestly, it could have gone either way. Sometimes you might get surprised in the right way, sometimes the wrong way. This was the right kind of surprise. This is a really interesting whiskey. This one's going to be really different from the 12-year-old Sherry Cask Select. The Sherry Cask Select, it's a lot lighter, it's a lot sweeter, it's what I'd categorize as a casual sipper, an easy sipper, something like that. This one, I mean, it could work as a casual sipper, but it's a little bit more demanding, it's a little bit more intense. This one's going to be a lot deeper, a lot richer. We've got some heavier notes in here. It's a dark, almost brooding kind of sherry, very attention-grabbing, again, very intense. I would call this an extremely luxurious tasting whiskey, and I know that's exactly the kind of like lingo or buzzword that Dalmore would just love to hear, but kind of true. I mean, it is. I'm serious. I think they accomplished what they set out to do with this one. It's one of those whiskeys that just kind of pulls you in and demands your full attention. Now, I'm not a cigar smoker, so I don't know how well this would pair with a cigar. But the rich tobacco notes and that kind of restrained treacle-like sweetness, I would imagine would pair really nicely with a cigar. Again, might be gimmicky, possibly one that works though. If I did smoke cigars, I would probably want to try one with this stuff. As a non-smoker, I'm still perfectly happy here. This is a really deep, dark, rich sherry, which is right up my alley. So this whiskey has a lot going on for it. There's a lot to like in here. I think it's a well-structured, well-balanced whiskey. It might be a bit bitter for some, but you know, sorry guys, I hate to say it, I'm actually starting to warm up to Dalmore. We have the Dalmore House style on display here. I think it works well with the cask they used. Dalmore, again, known for some pretty elaborate cask play, but when they get it right, they get it right. You know, this whiskey would, of course, be better off if it was naturally presented. The lower ABV, the coloring, the chill filtration, no doubt that's all to the whiskey's detriment. But I am willing to forgive that for the most part just because I'm a big fan of these flavors. But there is one aspect of this whiskey that I do think falls a little bit short. Short being the operative word. The finish is too short, which is 100% because of that lower ABV. And you know, a lot of whiskeys can and do pull off ABVs like 43 or 44%. This is one of those whiskeys. It does pull it off, but yeah, definitely the finish does suffer a little bit. What else? Okay, so I recently threw a few people off when I gave a glowing review of the Bowmore 18 Deep and Complex. It's a whiskey that I thoroughly enjoy, but it being a Bowmore, it comes in with some pretty weak specs, just like this one. And just like that one, I think I'm going to have to do the same thing here. I'm going to have to say a lot of really nice things about it. Guys, I really like this whiskey. I'm going to give it a 90. Now, these are just the kind of flavors that I personally respond to. I know that this whiskey is not going to be for everyone. I know this might be an unpopular opinion. I did get a few dislikes on that last video. I actually understand why. I understand that the optics get a little bit complicated when you give something like this a glowing review. Because, yeah, when you talk something like this up, it does sound like you're supporting bad behavior. I do understand that perspective. Oppositely, as far as I'm concerned, I'm just sharing my opinion about something that I like. This is a review channel, and when I like something, I'm going to tell you guys about it. So, you know, this is just an opinion. I'm putting it out there in the ether. You guys do with it as you may. Alright, so the value on this one is pretty hard to assess. The prices are all over the place depending on where you look. Generally speaking, though, this is not a cheap whiskey. It is quite expensive. Nothing absurd, but yeah, not cheap. And I know there's going to be a bunch of you out there that refuse to buy this regardless of what the price is. Again, I understand that, but I do think this is a whiskey that's worth trying at least once. I do really enjoy it. I think your sherry guys are going to like it. I think your cigar guys are going to like it. It's luxurious, it's rich, but Yeah, I mean, it is a Dalmore. Dalmore's going to Dalmore. Insert thoughtful closing sentence here. Okay, that's it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, please consider becoming a patron. As always, hit subscribe down below, click that little bell icon, and of course, smash the like. Now, I do want to hear from you. Have you tried our Dalmore Cigar Malt? What were your thoughts on it? Finally, down in the comments, let me know what you want to see me review next, and I'll keep it in mind for my upcoming videos. Bye, guys.